Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Mission for Mental Health. I missed y'all family. I missed you guys. I missed you guys. That was a long 2 weeks. I gave y'all a little taste on last, what was that, last Wednesday, just to talk to you a little bit about the coat drive. But dang, y'all, I miss talking to you guys every week. I didn't realize how much fun I was gonna have doing this thing, but I enjoy it, and I enjoy it so much that I know when I don't do it, something just don't sit right with me. So, but we're back. So, welcome to Mission for Mental Health. This is season 2, episode 1. Season 2, episode 1. That means I'm moving forward. I'm cooking with fish grease, y'all. Girls moving forward in this thing. So, yeah, so this week I kind of wanted to start off with something that I didn't get a chance to talk about last season. And I didn't get a chance to talk about young folks, a whole lot about the young folks, the Gen Zs, the Gen Xs, the millennials. I know you guys are like, what is all that? Where do I fit in with all of that? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out myself, right? Where do I fit in? What is it? This is real ghetto of me to have this. I put a mint in my mouth. Y'all, excuse me. Sorry. That was real ghetto of me to do that. I should have just crunched it, but nah. Sorry. But yeah, so people want to know, what is a Gen Z? What is a Gen X? Where is a millennial? How do I fit in this thing? And how does mental health fit with them, right? Like, what are they experiencing? We know what us adults are going through with mental health, but I wanted to find out from some young folks. So just last week, I was sitting in the salon getting my hair done, and I met this little fire. When I tell you the little girl's fire, I met this little fire young lady, baby. Her name is Maya. She said, I would love to be on your show. So I was like, I would love to have you on the show. And I wanted her to talk about, her generation and dealing. I'm not sure if Maya is a millennial or a Gen Z. I have to ask her when she comes on. But I wanted to get the young folks' perspective. So she was willing to talk. I wanted to bring her on. So yeah, y'all show her a lot of love, give her some hand claps and all that good stuff in the chat. I'm gonna bring her on. Her name is Maya. Hold on one second. She coming. All right, she coming, and bam! See, let me tell you what got me with her. Let me tell you what got me with Maya. Anybody who can rock some fire, copper hair color all over, automatically dear to my heart. So I already knew when she said, I want to come on. Yeah, I'm going to bring my sister on here. So welcome, Maya. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
How was your day?
It was good. Business is slow, but it's good.
That's good. You want to tell people what you do for a living?
So I am a client advisor for Versace. So I work at Versace in Fifth Plaza.
What you say, girl? She said, I'm an advisor. Like, I didn't know that people needed advice when they go into Versace. I thought you just being that I've never been in there. So the way my pockets are set up, ain't no need of me even trying to play the radio, store browse. Ain't no need of me doing none of that, faking the funk. Ain't no need of me doing none of that up in there. Plus, when I walk in, they're gonna be like, girl, who in the world left the gate open and let this woman up in here loud, red hair, halfway ghetto acting self? Who in the world let this woman up in this store? So
we have all kinds of clients. So
I bet. What's some of your best clients? What's some of your best people that come in there?
Some of my favorites are just kind of like the reality stars. I mean, of course, because celebrity culture and like people idolizing celebrities is so big now. They definitely don't come in the mall anymore, but it's kind of a new wave of like influencers and reality TV. So definitely the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
The Real Housewives, yes. So I would only want to go. So before I started my podcast, I wanted to be Wendy Williams. I wanted to be a little mini Wendy Williams, and have fun, right? Mm-hmm. So I love celebrities. Like, I'm that one. I try to tuck it back, but I can't. Like, I love celebrities. And my favorite celebrity is Usher. Like, everyone who knows me knows I go with Usher. Don't tell nobody. Everybody who knows me knows I love me some Usher. And I promise you, if I see Usher out somewhere, I will jump across tables to get to Usher. And I probably look crazy doing it. They'll be filming me talking about Lord have mercy. But I love Miss Usher. Do you have a do you do that at all when the celebrities come in the store, or do they train you all to tuck it back?
I mean, they don't necessarily train us, but we kind of, it's like a understanding that
Don't cut no
you
fools
just,
in our store.
of course, yeah. I mean,
Yes.
we have like Missy Elliott, she comes in. So of course the first time I saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, because she's from Virginia and my family's from Virginia as well. But
Right.
you know,
Right.
for me it's kind of like, they're regular people. So I
Right.
just now it
Right.
depends on the person I saw. I might react that way,
I'm
but
telling you, let it be Usher. I'll probably lose my job that day. Usher come in there, I'm like, oh Lord. I'll start singing.
I heard actually we were having a discussion last week and I heard he used to come in a lot and like wanted people to know it was him. So y'all would probably have a good time
Oh, we
together.
would have a great time together. Oh, absolutely. That phone will be going because I'll be, oh, Usher. Oh, yeah, yeah.
He would love it.
I know it. Yes, yes. If that's how he rolls, that's how I roll. So,
Mhm.
we this show was about mental health, and my last season I didn't really get a chance to really dive deep into let's put it like this. Us older folks talked about our kids, right?
Mhm.
But I didn't have any kids except for the first episode when I had my kids on, but they were talking about their sister. So I didn't get the opportunity to bring someone on who is, in your generation to tell us about what it is like, what mental health is like for you all. What are y'all going through? We know what we're going through, and I'm 50. I'll be 51 in
Mhm.
December.
Mhm.
And so I know what I go through at 50, but I didn't have the influences that you all have when
Mhm.
I was coming up. Thank
Mhm.
God. I'm
I
so
know, right?
glad. Woo, Lord.
It's
If
a
somebody
lot.
put some of the stuff I do on social media, oh, as a 20-year-old and a child, I probably wouldn't
Mhm.
have a job because I used to turn up. So I couldn't imagine how you all go through everything. I was trying to do a little research too,
Mhm.
to understand. So let's start off with what are millennials, Gen Zers, Gen X's, where do you fit in this thing here? What do you fit in this group?
I believe I'm Gen X. There's
Okay.
always a debate, but I feel like there's already been an established like scientific range. So I believe I'm Gen X because I'm 1997, and I
Okay.
believe Gen Z starts at 99.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where I
Okay. So I did a little research.
am. Okay.
Let me when I put these on, that means I'm gonna put up some knowledge. All right. So they say that for all of y'all that are watching and don't know, Gen Z is between the ages of 10 and 25 years old.
Okay.
Millennials are between the ages of 26 to 41 years old. That's a big gap.
Mhm.
That's a lot. Gen X's is 42 to 57 years old. And then they get into the older groups. The baby boomers, they gave them two.
Mhm.
Baby boomer group 2 is between the ages of 58 and 67, and baby boomer ones are 68 to 76. And then you got your post-war folks, which is like my mama, 77 to 94. And then you got these World War II, and you can probably count the number of World War II folks left. Actually, I did see a lady throw out the first pitch at a baseball game, and she's 103 years old. I saw her
Wow.
on TV today or yesterday. She's
Mhm.
103. And look, they ain't even got her on here.
Right.
So yeah, so I am considered Gen X, whereas you are considered Gen Z. Gen Z. Gen Z. So can you tell me how mental health has affected, or what do you know about mental health with like your group of friends, or do you all talk about it? Let's chat about that a little bit.
So luckily, I do have a great group of friends that I've accumulated over the years, that are very open with talking about our mental health. Um, and I do have some friends that even work in the mental health industry.
Hmm.
So she's a social worker, so she has seen an array of things over her time, with accumulating her degree and then going into field work. So luckily, I do have friends that talk about it, but I mean, there's so many layers to mental health, especially in my age group, because
Yeah.
with the things that we've grown up on, and then how the internet has changed, how social media has changed. We now have access to everybody's life. Um,
Yep.
so that can be difficult. I know personally for me, and I'm sure I can speak for many other people, watching people buy things and blast it on social media and with reality TV. You're watching celebrities who have come into wealth from past generations or things like that. You know, they're brandishing their things. So it's kind of like, this is what you're expected to have. And so then,
So how
you
does
know,
that make like it? You have you said that you have a good group of friends, which is great. So you have someone that you can vent to if you need to and talk to when you need to, and things like that. But how does that make you feel when you're watching? Um, like I saw, um, Love and Hip Hop.
mhm.
Um, is it Love and Hip Hop? No. Born the ones that were born, their parents were rappers and things like that. Now they got now the kids got their own show.
I don't remember the name, but I know which one you're talking about.
Okay, and so they're all about the same age as you, and these
Mhm.
kids have, geesh, they're riding Bentleys, they're
Right.
riding. Look, they all up through the Versace. Versace probably come to them and make their custom stuff. How do you and your girlfriends feel? When you're watching people like that, does it affect you all in any kind of way?
So I mean, I can't speak for my friends, but personally for me, it does affect me. Because I've always measured myself up
Good,
against other
good.
people. Even since I was a child, it's just me being completely self-aware of where I am, and then
Hmm.
measuring myself up to other people. So personally, I have had difficulties with comparing myself to other people in my age
Yeah.
group.
Is it off of social media? Are you a big social media person?
Um, I guess so. I do take breaks a lot, like long duration breaks. But yeah, I have been on social media since I was like 12.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, I've definitely seen a lot.
So I found this little fact when I was doing a little research, and they were talking about Gen Zers, and they said Gen Zers likes, comments, and followings have a significant impact on emotional well-being.
Hmm.
Most Gen Z individuals report that social media has impacted their happiness and self-esteem. What do you think about that? What's your opinion about that?
I 100% believe that. I've dealt with it myself again. Of course, as soon as you post a picture, you think that you're imagining how many likes you feel like you should get, and then you're measuring yourself against, well, what am I doing differently? Like, why is she getting 200, 300, 500, 1,000 likes? And then you measure, like, am I that pretty, or am I wearing the wrong clothes? Should I be in this kind of environment? Should I be around these kind of people? So it just gets like, it's like a snowball effect, and it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And some people think about that like every day, to where it becomes like you have to have a certain image, like you move further from your authentic self.
So how do you cope with that? That's a lot of pressure. I think that's a lot of pressure on young people. How do you all cope with that?
I don't think people do. Um, Majority, because social media has become so like disillusioned and so far from reality. So I don't think a lot of people are coping with it in the way that we should. I know a lot of people like me, like they take breaks off social media, but you come back and it's still the same.
Still the
So
same.
it has to be like internal work that you're doing, to where being on social media and seeing all this stuff being pushed in your face constantly doesn't affect you anymore.
But it still has to be kind of challenging because we all want to be liked, right?
Hmm.
I never thought that one day that a number of clicks will determine or make people feel that determines how much people like you. One thing,
Right.
my generation goes through that as well. I remember when I first started getting on social media, I really wasn't. I remember when I first was introduced to what y'all call old for old people, Facebook. Uh, they say all the old people on Facebook. Y'all done left us over there on Facebook and moved to other things. Instagram, TikTok.
Mhm.
Y'all was doing y'all were Snapchatting for a minute. I guess you got tired of Snapchat because
Right.
we found Snapchat. So now y'all don't want to be on Snapchat with us. So y'all have left us and went to TikTok. So
Mhm.
so I remember when I first started doing social media and I started, building up followers, I was very selective at first about people that I used to keep my page private, to be honest, because I wasn't sure who was a friend and who wasn't a friend, or what their motive was or what their motive wasn't. But then I found as you start trying to like build businesses and things like that, you have to have likes and because that is what pushes the algorithm up
Mhm.
for your businesses and stuff, right? And
Yeah.
so you got to have people like you. And
Mhm.
I can imagine, well, I mean, and I go through it still, like sometimes I see, I'm like, ain't nobody like my page. Y'all didn't like my page when I put up this motivational quote, but when I
Mm.
put up this page where I'm cussing out somebody or I'm
Yeah.
crying or whatever, I got a trillion, I got 300-400 likes sharing my stuff and everything. But what I realized is it's people's interest. And
Mhm.
as I started growing and maneuvering through social media, I realized that it's fake. It's all fake because people only put up what they want us to know.
It's so scary because some of the things that people are saying in regards to image and stuff, it's now moving off of social media and people are doing this in real life. Like there was a rapper, her name's Erica Banks. She recently made a video that got leaked because it was in a private story, but she was just talking about how she doesn't want ugly friends, pretty much is what she said. She has to look a certain way to be able to go to the club with her because men don't like when you look a certain way. So now it's just like you can't even have authentic friends because everything's an image. And I just want to be with somebody who's going to help me get to where I want to go or look however I want to look. And so it's just all so far from reality. It's like so scary.
Mm, yeah, I'm sure this young lady, I don't know who she is, but I'm sure that her life is stressful
Hmm.
because she has, for example, Nicki Minaj.
Hmm.
Nicki Minaj has always been a pretty girl. But
Hmm.
when she got into the industry, an image was created for her,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Regardless if she wanted it or not. This image was created for her. Like I've seen videos of her pre Barbie, right?
Hmm.
And now. And if she gains a pound,
Hmm.
people I read a one of her posts because I do follow her because I do like her, where she was saying, people were saying assuming that she was pregnant. And she
Right.
was like, darn, I'm not pregnant. I just ate. I just got hungry. I just wanted to eat. But she shouldn't have to explain
Right.
that. But because this image was created for her, she has to uphold it as long as she's Barbie.
Yeah, it's
As
scary.
long as she's Barbie, she has to uphold this image.
It's hard too, even like for your own personal self confidence, because it's like now everybody's so disillusioned about what a real woman's body should look like.
Ooh, girl, you better say it.
Like I had some hesitation a little bit when I posted for my birthday because I had a backless dress and I had like two back rows and I'm just like, is this good enough for Instagram? Like, should I wait until I lose some weight and then post it? But that's just the agony that people go through because nobody even knows what a real body looks like anymore. Like as soon
Right.
as somebody goes viral through music, they all get their teeth done. Like
Oh, the veneers.
yeah,
Oh, the veneers.
you can't be famous without getting your teeth done, without getting your body done. You have to get lipo. Like everything has to be perfect as soon as you come in, or nobody's gonna latch onto you. you're not going to be
Right.
successful.
Right. Right. That I don't even know who invented that. My generation is, when we started turning probably 30s, tummy tucks was the thing.
Hmm.
Everyone had to have, I mean, and a lot of girls I grew up, we had kids young.
Hmm.
So, we got these little chunky bellies and stretch marks and things like that. The booty was not in just yet. The booty wasn't
Hmm.
there, but the tummy tuck was there. Like it was a horrible thing to have a stomach. If you had a
Right.
stomach, oh my god,
Still
that
is.
that was, oh my god, oh my god. If you
Still
got a
is.
but when the booty came in, I swear every woman is with a little change in her pocket or has used her tax refund, all look the same.
2020, after the pandemic and they opened the stores back up, every client that I had, I'll probably say every 3 out of 5 was talking about they need clothes a certain size because after I get this BBL, I'm going to look totally different.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Last year, everybody got one. And I was like, why doesn't anybody like themselves?
Yeah. Social media is a beast. It has its benefits and it does not. It has its challenges as well because people look too hard into social media.
Mhm.
I learned that it's fake. People only put up what they want you to see. They only put up what they want you to know about themselves. Like for example, you may have experienced this where you have friends who may have a boyfriend and her and his boyfriend, all he does is cheat on her. They fight all the time, they argue all the time, but then they go on vacation. She ain't post nothing about that fighting, but she posted every picture that they took in Jamaica. Me and my bae,
Mhm.
doing it up in Jamaica. Me and my bae on the jet ski. But right before you left, Bay was at so and so house, or
Mhm.
Bay was doing this, and Bay was doing, or Bay blacked your eye right before you left. You know what I'm saying? So social media is just not, real, and I can see how. As you get older, you become a little bit more secure. But when you're young and impressionable, and like I said, if Gen Z is 10 to 25, you're talking about
Mhm.
10. I got a little bit more information. It says that Gen Z adults ages 18 to 23 reported the highest levels of stress compared to other generations and were the most likely age group to report symptoms of depression. That's according to the blah, 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 blah. American Psychological Association.
Yeah. I actually
Of
saw
2020.
something too that said young adults aged 18 to 25 have the highest prevalence of AMI, which is 30.6%. So that's all mental illnesses. Like between this age group, we're
Yep.
all feeling it the most. So,
Yeah. They also said the APA also said that Generation Z battles anxiety and depression. Just 45% of Gen Zers report their mental health is good or excellent. That's according to APA. So can you imagine you have 45% of the Gen Z, the ten to 25 years old
hmm
people saying, I don't feel happy.
hmm
I don't feel good. I feel I'm not excited. I'm depressed. What do you do with that? Because those people are our future. You all are our future. And if
hmm
you all are depressed between 10 and 20, do you know that those years for me were like the best?
hmm
They were the best.
Yeah.
Anytime you talk to people in that's older, they'll be like, If it's your birthday and you turning 50 something, they'll say, yeah, I turned 25. We always go back to them 20s, because
Mm-hmm.
those 20s were like during those years, school was supposed to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
School was fun. If you were suspended from school or you were sick from school, you were sorry, because all the stuff that was popping, that was going on, it was happening at the school.
Mm-hmm.
you know High school, that's where all the parties, the dances, the boyfriend girlfriend, the turn up, like the athletics, the football game, the Friday night football games, everything happened at school.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you go to college,
Can't say too much.
I done already did that once before, so I said I ain't gonna say too much. I ain't going. I already did an episode where I told all my business. But baby, so if you telling me that 25 years ago, how fun it was, and
Mm-hmm.
now 45% of y'all are depressed,
Yeah,
what are we gonna do about that, Maya?
it's hard. I mean, because personally, for me, I've been clinically diagnosed with depression. So I've always been self aware, even from when I was younger. I remember just being like overwhelmingly not happy. Of course, I had happy moments, but it was constantly like comparing myself to other children, you
Mm-hmm.
know, just feeling like I can't really express myself or that my feelings are not being heard. So
Right.
I can only imagine now because children now, as soon as they are born, they are on TikTok and on Instagram. And it's like now kids, like, I know there was a time period where you can go to school and even if you didn't have the nicest stuff, nobody picked on you
Right.
for not having nice stuff. But now it's
Right.
like kids are saying you can't even wear Skechers to school and they're eighth grade. I mean, they're in third grade. They're 8 years
Right.
old. They can't wear certain stuff to school or they're going to get bullied.
Right.
And then in high school, everybody's wearing bundles and wearing designer shoes. They're wearing Balenciaga and Gucci and all that stuff to high school.
To
So now,
high school.
yes,
And guess what? Who's funding that?
yeah, it just gets worse. Like every
Who's
year,
funding
everybody
that?
is trying to fight to keep up with the latest, and nobody is really happy.
Nobody's really happy. So that goes to show that material things don't make you happy.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, you talking about being in the third grade and you have to buy some Jordans. You can't show up to school in Skechers. You got to show up in Jordans.
Yeah, it's
What happened
really,
to the light up shoes? They don't do them no more.
it's not fun. It's not cute. It's not fun. You have to come best dressed. Like, it's just scary. Like, I don't even know how you could actually come up with a solution unless people collectively like woke up and was like, this doesn't matter anymore.
Do you find that do you find that it is our community that's putting this pressure, or do you see it among all communities?
Um, I think it's among all communities, to be honest. But I feel like it probably started with an older generation that birthed the children, and it kind of feels like that's where all the competition started. So obviously the generation creating the social media. So I feel like that might be the millennial era.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but and then I also feel like a lot of children can't express themselves because there are still a lot of older generations that don't believe depression exists, and they think it's like a fallacy. You know, then you can just bring religion into it too. People think you should just pray about it. They
Yeah.
don't believe in medicine or therapy. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Yes, mental health is still a big stigma for our generation, of course.
Mhm.
So that does reflect your generation. But what I have noticed is that on a lighter note for your generation, you all are more open.
Mhm.
Um, open to, you know, I was talking to, was I talking to you or was no, I think I was talking to another young lady, and we were talking about how younger people are into their mental wellness. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're starting to become more aware of their mental health, even though 45% of the population says, it says that they are depressed and have anxiety, right? They are more willing to accept some form of um, treatment. You guys do things that we wouldn't dare do, as far as like, let's say you have a job and your boss on your job is on your nerves.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all will quit. Y'all will walk away. Like, psh, I don't have to
I think
tolerate
we
that.
had to push that agenda because, like I was saying, the older generations don't get it. They don't understand sometimes. So I think that's collectively we have to push that agenda. Like, if nobody else is going to help me, I'm just going to have to help myself. So that's one reason I really do appreciate social media. Like, I've been on TikTok. There's so many people that had their platform to talk about mental health. There's so many young Black therapists, people who are willing to talk about their issues. Now there's actually a trend going on where people are being vulnerable about how their year has been so far. So going through breakups, going through therapy, depression, spending money compulsively because of depression. Like, so, I mean, I really do
I
appreciate
know
my
you see
generation
that
for
in your
that.
store.
Yeah, I see it in myself too sometimes, but yeah, definitely in my story. But yeah, I really appreciate my generation for pushing that agenda because somebody has to do it so that younger kids can feel open to it too.
Yeah, because we're still working on ours. We still
Mhm.
trying to get our chakra in line and our crystals in order. We trying to
Yeah.
charge our crystals, whatever they saying. You know, we still
Mhm.
trying to get all those. We still trying to figure it out. We trying to figure out what the hell just happened to us. You know, whereas you all are like,
Mhm.
well, I can tell you what happened to y'all.
Yeah, and we're like, this is what happened.
We
You
can
were
tell you.
definitely depressed, or you definitely went through a traumatic experience, and you was probably like, "Oh, this is life," or "That's just who my parents are," or.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Do you think that young people influence older people? Do you think that it's possible for your generation to influence our generation?
yeah, I've seen it. Sometimes it doesn't go so well, but I've definitely seen where younger people are trying to let their parents know and help their parents get through old trauma. Um, it's building better relationships, or mending relationships that probably weren't as well in the beginning. So I definitely think it's possible. It's a lot of work, but it's
It's a lot of
possible.
work because you know we shut you guys down. We don't,
Hmm.
especially in our community. You know, we'll shut y'all down because we feel like y'all have a place. Young people, especially, and not just my generation, the ones before me, like grandmama and them.
Hmm.
Grandmama and them believe that, you know, you need to stay in your lane. You need to
Hmm.
stay in your place, right? Um, it's funny because I have a daughter who's 23, and that's her. She's like, she told me the other day, which I felt was quite disrespectful, but um, she didn't like the way I addressed her. She felt that I
Hmm.
was rude, and that I need to chat with my therapist to find a different way to talk to her,
Hmm.
because she felt there's another way that I can use my express what I want to say without saying. I cussed out, so she felt there was another way that I could have handled that, and told me that I should consult with my therapist. You know, I
Hmm.
wanted to jump on her, right? I really wanted to jump on her
But
for,
then you went back and was like, maybe she's telling the truth.
well, you know, maybe she is telling a tad bit of truth. You know what I'm saying? But to be that bold, you know, like if she was, t- that was a lot of courage to say that to me.
Hmm.
Even though I don't like, even though I didn't really appreciate what she said or how she said it, um, it took a lot of courage for her to say that to me,
Hmm.
right? Because she feels her mental health, her mental wellness was more important than me cussing her out. And she felt, you know, that she wanted to let me know how she felt. Right.
Yeah, it gets difficult because, like you said, the older generation is so hardwired on what's classified as disrespect because of what they learned from their parents.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
you see Dana on here, right?
yeah,
And you see what Dana's saying, right?
that's an example.
Disrespectful? No, hell no.
That's an example. But honestly, it's like it can be difficult. It's a reality check because um people are so used to just saying whatever they want to their children because that's what they're used to. But it has to be some kind of boundary and it has to be respect for your child. I think there's oftentimes a blur because people think their children are just their children, but also there has to be a form of friendship and trust too. So in the same way I wouldn't let my friend or my boyfriend talk to me like that or significant other, why would I want a parent, somebody who's supposed to love and respect me and honor our relationship? Why would I
Mhm.
want my parent to talk to me like that?
You know, you about to get my mostly everyone that follows me, they're older.
Yeah, I
And so
see.
so they about to go ham on you.
Hey, it's
but
a
but
harsh
that's
reality.
but
It's a
that's what
harsh
we're talking
reality.
about because you know kids are we feel our older people we feel stay in your lane, and
Hmm.
so when we tell you to stay in your lane, we're not giving you the opportunity to express feelings. So
Exactly.
this is my niece. Her name is Maisha, and she is a teacher. She is my niece, but she is 5 months older than me. And she
Hmm.
said, absolutely better check your tone in my house. You paying rent? Auntie, you know I'm special all day long. She is special all day long.
I mean, honestly, you can have a debate back and forth all day, but it's really just about what kind of relationship do you want with your child? Do you want one where you guys are honest and both respect each other? Or do you want one where your child is fearful of saying how they feel? You can't have an honest adult discourse, then that's just kind of how you the direction you go on with your child. And a lot of people don't care about that, but thankfully some people do. I've had conversations with my mother where I'm like, I feel like we should have this kind of tone with each other. I'm open to conversation. I'm very well versed for my age. I don't mind talking about what's going on with our relationship. So I feel like even as a child, when people discipline their kids, like if an adult is easier, if you can talk to an adult as an adult and have them understand, why would a child understand what you're trying to say to them? So it's like you have to start that kind of conversation from when they're young so children are able or vulnerable and willing to talk to you. I really don't respect relationships between parent and children where there's a fear dynamic. I think that's crazy.
So Dana says, don't like it, move.
And that's
I
just the
told
kind
you
of relationship that
I
that
told you the grown folks, this is how they are
yeah.
me and my me and my friends. Hmm. As long as I have you, as long chat look, you know why I'm struggling, right?
Hmm.
Okay, here we go. As long as I have you, I will talk to you the way I like.
Yeah, I feel like obviously depends on the age group. Of course, you don't want your child, like a teenager, yelling at you or cussing you out or saying, I don't, whatever. But that comes with conversation. I feel like as long as you're literate, you can read and you know how to use words, you should be able to talk to somebody. Like, let's establish some boundaries.
So do you think that if we're playing devil's advocate, Dana, Maisha, and Mary, let's play devil's advocate for a minute. Because we all know how we stand. We got that old school mentality when it comes to our kids, right?
Hmm.
So what I want to know from Maya, we're gonna play devil's advocate. And do you think that we if we changed and were a little more open when talking with Gen Zers, that it may have a positive effect on their mental health.
Absolutely.
Why do you think
That's
that?
why Gen Z's mental health is messed up because of
Because of us.
that kind of isolation where you don't get to talk to me this kind of way. You don't get to express your feelings. So now people are depressed because they don't know how to express their feelings. They never had that kind of discourse or that kind of environment growing up where, hey, mom, I don't like the way you're talking to me. It's like, I can talk to you however I want. You're in my house. But it's like, how can you move forward and how can you give that kind of respect to your children when you're growing up like that? You have to reverse all of that you've learned and to become a better person. It doesn't make you a good person if you feel like somebody can't express how they feel, because it may come off the wrong way. That's why you talk about it in the future. Hey, mom, I don't like the way you talk to me like this, or hey, daughter, let's figure out a way that we can move forward and be better together instead of this fear where I don't let you do whatever you want to.
Okay. So let me read some of the comments. Let me read some of the comments. Uh Dana said, let's see where I'm on. Mary. Let's see. They respect me, but you're not going to talk to me any kind of way.
Of course.
And sometimes that, kids can express themselves, but it also is the way that they do it as well. Like, you really not going to come in here and talk to me like I'm one of your friends.
Absolutely.
Like, we just not going to, we just not going to do that part. I mean, it's hard for me to, it's that's a little hard for me.
I think it's a healthy balance of everything, honestly. Like everything in moderation. I feel like that applies to many things in life.
Right.
Like, of course, nobody wants their child to come and be like, do, 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 do.
You
Of
know.
course, you don't want the same thing from your parent. Of course, every child is different. If there's a child that constantly is not listening to you, like just doing whatever, then I can understand how you will be frustrated and feel like you have to go to that level.
Right.
But some people just started raising people like that based off what they know. Like some kids didn't even come in like that. And now it's like, I can't say anything to you because this is how you came in raising me. So now it's like, I don't want a fearful relationship with my parent. I want to feel like I love this person because they came in respecting me. They treated me as a person, not just a smaller extension of themselves, but as an individual. I think that's very important because some people just see their children as, oh, I birthed you, I have all these rights. At the end of the day, this person didn't ask to be here. So it's more like, I'm going to treat you like an individual and we're going to learn how to move through life together.
Okay. So Maisha said, I have a healthy fear of my mom. Her mother is my sister. She's my shero, made many sacrifices for me, and without her, I wouldn't be where I am in life, which is very true. My sister, my sister didn't play the radio with her daughter. Now, could my niece talk to her mother the way you're describing? I don't know. I would have to ask her, because she was strict. Some young people won't listen until you get out of pocket. So what she's saying is sometimes, young folks don't look, like you were saying, each kid is different. And sometimes some of these kids don't understand the calm part. They only understand when you got your foot in their throat.
That's true. But some parents always do the honor thy mother and thy father, but they always ignore the part where it says don't provoke your children.
Oh, girl, they about to have you.
Some people like to do the provoking because that's how they were raised. So it's honestly a case by case situation. Of course, not every parent disrespects their kids just for fun, but some people are innately raised that way. They have it in them, and they don't know
all the time.
Yeah.
Which means they more than likely have a lot of mental health issues themselves that they haven't dealt with, right? Okay. Miss Mary said, I have an open relationship and communication with my sons. They can talk to me about anything. Let me take my glasses off on that. Her boys talk to her about everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. And she
that's
talks
good.
to them.
That's amazing.
She talks to them about everything.
You should have that kind of relationship. But unfortunately, a
Uh,
lot of people my age who are going through mental health issues have parents that don't express how they feel, and it's just a constant cycle of keeping things bottled in to where they can't do that. And it's a lot. It's so like on the fence because there's parents like she said who are super relaxed, and I feel like that's kind of how some children just feel like they can do whatever. But I feel like some people go in like, oh, you see them kids over there, you ain't about to do that. And I'm just like, I wasn't even gonna do that anyway. But you know, it's tricky for sure.
most parents don't just disrespect their kids, it's because something isn't happening. We have to respect our mother and father, and we are okay. I think kids now need to respect their parents. She's right about provoking part being overlooked. She said provoked. This day and age, parents are the most laxed with their kids, and we have some of the most disrespectful, suicidal, and mental generation. Why do you all think that is? Why do you think that is, Maya?
Like I said, I think it's like a just a big mix of people. I feel like there's so many people who are stuck in that old mentality, but also there are parents who are pushing that agenda away because of the things that they've been through. Um, so honestly, I feel like with the agenda that we're pushing now, as far as speaking out and speaking up about mental health, hopefully there will be a shift later. But because there are some people who are still headstrong in that agenda to instill fear in their kids and just provoke and do all that kind of stuff, I still think we're always going to have that kind of back and forth.
You do have some parents that, issues that happen when, I don't know. I don't know if I like the word provoke.
Okay.
Um, because that means that I'm intentionally going out to cause a problem for you.
Hmm.
But oftentimes it is you have not done what I've asked, or it's something going on that's causing me to um, go off today.
Hmm.
And now I'm not saying all parents, um, there are some parents that do go around just provoking any and everybody because that's just how they are. But most parents don't go wake up in the morning and just, ooh,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
of course
I
not.
can't wait
Right.
to get Tyson today. We
Hmm.
want smooth days. Most of the days we want smooth days, right?
Hmm.
So provoking is kind of, I don't know about that word right there, but I do know that sometimes it is difficult to have a conversation with your child, like a grown up conversation with your child.
Right.
I won't even say a grown up conversation, a normal conversation, a regular
Hmm.
conversation, like you would with other people, because sometimes you just want your kid to do what you ask them to do and be done with it, and it ain't nothing to talk about. Ain't shit to talk about.
Hmm.
Just do what I
Right.
ask you to do. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? But then we have to, if when you open the door for the clapback, then you and your child are going to go back and forth all day long about something I told you to do. I
Right.
didn't ask you if you liked it. I didn't ask you if you didn't like it. I didn't ask you how you felt about it. That wasn't the thing. The thing is,
Hmm.
do what I asked you to do.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes when you use that word provoke, it's kind of like, I don't know about that one. And sometimes you
Yeah.
got
No,
some
that's,
kids.
I mean, it could be a different word, but I think it's just, and sometimes it's like unconscious, like you don't know you're doing it because you don't know what the person is going through, and you saying wash some dishes after it might just be like the trigger to be like, really, like why are you coming bothering me, and then it's the whole thing. So it's like it's so many layers to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like sometimes you have to just stop and have them conversations, like, or, you know, be aware of somebody's body language, how they feel, like how they're acting when they come through the door. Cause like she was saying, I think, they're at school all day listening to people they don't feel like talking to, all this stuff. Like maybe they're getting bullied at school and then you come home and you're like, here
Mm-hmm.
she go about to tell me something else. Like just leave me alone. So I think that kind of comes into, and that's why I feel like it has to start at such a young age, so the kids can come home and be like, "Mom, I had such a terrible day. Like, let me
Yeah,
just chill." And then you can be like, "Well, I understand. Just take out the trash, and then I'll leave you alone, or we can talk about it." I don't know, but
right.
it's that kind of awareness you have to have, where you're not just telling somebody like, "Go do this," and let me not see what's going on with you first, or check your temperature first.
So, are you saying that maybe we need to build a better relationship so we can have better communication? So when things are going on or going array for, is that the right word, Mike? Going awry, array or
Right.
whatever,
Yes.
awry, with the child at school, or maybe they just had a breakup or whatever the case may be, that they're comfortable enough to come to talk to us, to tell us what's going on. And that can probably alleviate the part of we're in this conflict now, and I got my foot down because you didn't do what I asked you to do, or whatever the case may be. So, are you
Yeah.
saying that maybe we need to be a little bit more open? I don't. When I was growing up, I don't feel my parents were open at all. I don't think that I
Mhm.
could come and tell them whatever what was going on in my life. It was going on in my life, and um, I wasn't able to come and say, "Hey, I'm going through this right now. I know you told me to wash the dishes, but can I have an hour? I'm just upset, blah blah blah,
Exactly.
whatever." I didn't have that kind of relationship, and I don't think my kids had that kind of relationship with me. I still got a do over. I still got one left who's here, who's 14, so maybe I could try it with her. But well, she communicates with me the most, but the other ones, I think, because I was so in my own world, trying to
Mhm.
work, trying to get stuff done, trying to do just make sure stuff was taken care of, that I never really thought about their mental health
Right.
um, as they were growing up. I didn't think about them. And now they're like you, they're a Gen Zer
Mhm.
trying to, thank God, the only one of them has a child. But the rest of them don't have any kids or anything like that.
Mhm.
And, I never considered their mental health as I was growing up, as they were growing up. I just knew I needed stuff done, and I wanted it done by the time I got home. You know, I wanted stuff done.
Yeah. I think it's the same. Like when I think about it, it's just like depression can show up the same way in adults as it does children. So some days when I'm in a drought and I'm not feeling the best, I may not wash the dishes for 2 days. So sometimes you can't expect a person to have that same discipline as they're feeling it as a child. Like, and I can imagine the feelings are elevated as a child because you're still growing developmentally in your brain. You're feeling all these things, like learning what you should think about from people at school. You're learning how you should think from your parents. And so you're still feeling that depression. And so for sometimes for people to be hounding you is not a great feeling. So of course you may get some built up tension or some feedback that you don't necessarily like. And that's when the conversation has to come in, because being a parent, you have to be not only responsible for yourself, but you're responsible for somebody else's mental health too. They're learning from you. So that's just what you have to consider becoming a parent.
Do you have any kids yet?
I don't.
Oh, girl, get ready. Woo, honey bone, get ready, get ready,
And of
get
course,
ready.
people are like, oh, just wait till you become a parent. But that's just something you have to think about. Is my mental health in order? If you're planning a pregnancy, because of course, some people don't plan to be pregnant. But that's just something to think about. Like, personally, that's what I'm thinking about. Like, is my mental health together before I'm raising a child and putting my ideologies on them and my beliefs that I feel like they should believe? And, you know, a lot of the times the disagreement becomes because I don't feel the same way that my parent does. And sometimes it's difficult for an adult to see that their young person doesn't feel the same as them or might even disagree. So,
Maya, this was good. My
mhm.
niece told me that I need to do a part two with you. So one day I'm gonna have to bring you back on.
Yeah, this was
This
fun.
was good. This was good. So um I try to always we have like 5 minutes left, and I always try to lighten the mood. Even though this has been a lively conversation anyway, it hasn't really been a daunting or sad conversation. But I always try to end like on a lighter note, and make it even more fun if I can. So um, let's play like a little game. You ready?
Okay.
It's an easy game. Hold on, let me go make sure I go through all these comments. I like to make sure everyone is heard as well and their comments are addressed. Hold on. Ah, you saw that, right, Dana?
Hmm.
Good
Thank
job,
you.
Maya. Great perspective.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maya. I was definitely listening to your wisdom. That's Maisha.
Thank
That's that
you.
school teacher girl. Ah, so, if you had triple times the money, like if you were that billionaire in Chicago,
Hmm.
what would you want to do with your money? What would you do?
Oh my gosh, I'll definitely probably open up a mental health clinic. I feel like a lot of people need it. Um,
Absolutely.
I feel like not enough people talk about it, especially the ones who do have the money, because as you've seen over the years, so many people with money are committing suicide because they're not happy.
Because they're not happy.
So that would definitely be more on my agenda, opening up some mental health clinics. I feel like it shouldn't be so taboo for people to talk about how they feel.
Absolutely.
Um, I feel like people shouldn't be so focused on an image and get back to their
Oh man, did I lose her, y'all? She froze up. She was doing so good, y'all. Let's see. Let's give her a couple seconds. Well, let me put your comment up. Meg the Stallion just opened a great platform for mental health release today. Check it out. Absolutely. We lost Lil Maya. She froze up on us. She did so good. If she comes back on the screen, I will add her back on. So, yeah, that was good, y'all. I want to be able to do it again where I can bring some more young people on here to talk. If y'all know some young people that want to be on the show, let me know, because I like getting their perspectives, even though I don't agree with everything they're saying, because I do got a little old school in me. But she is correct in, you know, if they're saying, if the statistics are saying that 45% of Gen Zers, which is between the ages of 10 and 25, is suffering from depression and anxiety, where is it coming from? It's not all social media, it's also coming from home too, right? So we do need to do some things to maybe, kind of work with our young people a little bit more to make sure that they got their mental health in check. So I thank all of you for coming out, and like coming out like y'all came somewhere. Y'all just clicked on. But I'm always happy that you guys join me on Wednesday nights. Of course, I got to throw up my little stuff here. Da, 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 da. So if you ever want to be a guest on Mission for Mental Health, I would love to have you. You can hit me up on Mission for Mental Health at gmail.com. Hold on, I think Maya's trying to get back on here. You can hit me up on Mission for Mental Health at gmail.com. Y'all know that you can hit me up on all my social media platforms. All right. Um, I use this one a lot. You can follow me at Mission for Mental Health. Um, you can follow me, JR Mission for Mental Health. If you have any friends that want to be on the show, I need to fill up this schedule, you guys. So hit me up and let me know. Always remember to please subscribe, like, and share. Those of you that are watching me on Facebook, jump over to my YouTube, please. I want to build up these subscribers. I'm looking to have like a great, great, great season. So I need y'all to subscribe to my channel. Um, I enjoyed you guys. I will see you all next week. Don't forget that We are going to begin our coat drive October the 1st. I threw that flyer up. You will see it again on all my social media platforms. So don't forget about that. October 1st through the 31st, and I'm looking for volunteers to help distribute these coats. If you have any questions, of course, you can always hit me up. So you guys enjoy your week, and I will holler at you all next Wednesday. Good night, y'all. Good night, y'all.